Welcome to Dare to Be Us. Hi, I'm Ruth, founder of The Corner Peach and the host of Dare to Be Us. Welcome back to Dare to Be Us. Today we have Kelly. We're gonna talk about her experience in life with, she had a big journey with her first marriage, her son, and that took her to start her spiritual journey. And I'm really happy that you are here. We're gonna delve into your story. And I know that there's going to be, people there outside that at some point they're going to relate with you, and it could be a relief as well for them, right? And it could be something that they can as well say, hey, this is my time to start my journey. Mm-hmm. So I welcome you, Kelly.
Yes.
Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, Ruth.
I know. I'm so glad that you guys are all being so really nice with me, and I appreciate that you all guys want to come and share your story and be part of this spreading the light.
Oh, it's a pleasure, Ruth. Thank you.
So tell us about how you start your life. I understand that when you were a child, you were asking yourself these huge questions of, what's life, what's death, where do we go, right?
Yeah. At a very young age, I would say probably as early as 6, maybe 7, I would almost be afraid of death. I found as a child the concept of being here one minute and leaving the next, and where do we go, and why aren't we here? It was always kind of scary, and I questioned that, and so it as when I got to about 9, I really kind of wanted to go to the church. I always believed in a higher power,
Yeah.
God or source or creator, whatever term people want to use, a higher power.
Yeah.
And so I was always kind of pulled to that.
Yeah.
So my parents didn't give me that little push, but as we move forward, we'll see why. There was a lot of hypocrisy in my mom's growing up. She was an orphan, but she was forced to be very Catholic. However, she's seen a lot of hypocrisy within that,
Yes.
being abused, by
Yes.
nuns and such. So it was something that my mom never gave me, maybe a gentle push that maybe some parents do. And so I was kind of looking for something on my own. You know, I would take the bus to church when I was younger and that kind of thing. But I never really, I found that that was kind of fearful too. I find a lot of times the Catholic Church kind of puts some fears
Mm-hmm.
for people. I mean, everybody has their own personal journey, but I never, you know, when they started talking about going to hell and all this, it really scared me as a child. And so I did
And
kind of,
as an adult as well, right? Because
absolutely,
that I
absolutely.
feel as well that as an adult you keep having that biases that if you do something or if
Yeah.
you are trying to experiment something for you and then it says in the Bible that is wrong, then it's like
Yeah.
I can't. They can't even. You can't be yourself either
That's
as
right.
well, right?
Yeah. So I didn't have that belief system and I still don't.
Mm-hmm.
So I did move away from the church, but I did get back into the church, more evangelistic kind of music
Yeah.
based, which I love music. When my kids were young, I started to, because I still felt that you know, it was important to kind of show your kids some faith
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of lead them to the path, and then they
Mm-hmm.
could make their own choices
Yes.
as they
Yes.
got
Of
older.
course.
You know, I think it's important
Yes.
not to force a child into
Yes.
any kind of belief system,
Yes.
but it
You know
was
what? I
healthy, you
did
know.
that the same. I have
Yeah,
done the same, and I think that's really good as well. And I always said to my kids, you know what? I will give you all the information.
yeah, yeah,
You will have the capacity at some point to
yeah,
decide whether this is for you or not.
yeah,
And as
exactly,
well, not just in the religion, right? Like out there, everything.
absolutely,
You do your own biases and you think, research, find out what people are saying, this, there, right?
yeah,
Just because otherwise you're just having just one opinion and then you are just following your path with that. It's just
exactly.
not good.
Yeah, I think as parents, it's our job to provide the education and the tools and let their children, like a butterfly, have
Yeah.
wings and fly on their own and make their own choices. We made our own choices, and so I think that's important. I always believed in, I always prayed, you know, not daily, not like I do today. And I don't believe prayer. I think people have it in their mind that it's some daunting,
Mm-hmm.
you know, kind of rhythmic, you know, kind of process. But I think that it's very personal. And it's the same as my spirituality. I don't go out and preach and that sort of thing. I let it flow. The right people come along, the
Mm-hmm.
like-minded people come along, and but I feel it's a personal choice, and what I believe isn't what someone else believes. You know,
Yes, yes.
I mean, since I've gotten bigger into spirituality and connecting to the other side, I certainly feel I'm more passionate about it, you know, because
Yeah.
I've seen in reality the evidence, you know.
And you connect. That's when you start to
Exactly,
feeling even more when you are
exactly.
that one self with, with source, with
Yeah,
God, or, however you
yeah,
guys want to call it. It's
yeah,
just that. It's a,
yeah,
I mean, I'm still in Pampers
yeah,
in spirituality, right? But I can feel it, just as you're saying, exactly that connection
yeah,
is when you start to have more passion about it because
exactly. It's powerful.
you feel
You
it
feel
deep,
it.
deep, deep inside, right?
You do. And then when you start, everybody can connect, everybody can get messages. And I didn't realize that the connection was so strong. I've always had an intuition growing up,
Mm.
and I know we didn't talk about it, but there was a time that really hit me. Without getting into a lot of detail,
Mm-hmm.
my son struggled with addictions and
Mm-hmm.
mental health, and this is what kind of brought me through trying to be connected with Sean Leonard
Yeah.
and his, he's just an amazing Aboriginal spirit medium, but a psychic medium. But I went and I would see him on Facebook, and I did go to him in person, and he was amazing. And when he offered this course, I was one of his first students. I was just very excited about, I was thirsty for knowledge, and
Mm-hmm.
I knew there was more out there. And I love the fact that, like, I'm Native, my mom's Cree, and so it was lovely that he kind of incorporates that's when the light bulbs all went on. Like I had that base with religion. I went to Bible study. I went to church, but it just didn't feel like the right fit. But with Sean, it was just the perfect
The
fit.
perfect fit,
And
yes.
so he,
It's a call kind of thing, right?
yeah,
You feel the call.
exactly. And he taught me how to smudge, and to get back to my roots, which I've never really. I mean, I knew about my mom, and she had the native beads, and I was always interested in that. But and the stories that she would have, she's very wise. The stories that she would tell, but it was awesome, just kind of learning. And when Sean has a very specific, at that time it was a 3-year online course, and we had modules. And if we put the time in, you basically got back what you gave in.
Mm-hmm.
And he really did teach us how to connect to spirit. There was just for raising our energy
Yeah.
is the key, or
Yes.
stilling our mind, through meditation. It's the
Yes.
key.
Yes.
And, when you put it all together and you start to get these little snippets, or maybe little clairvoyant images, or little video reels in your mind. I still get those in
Yes.
terms of people, and
When you're getting a reading,
when
right?
I'm getting,
When you're
or
getting a-
messages for friends even, like I have a very good friend. I rode horses, and I used to part lease a horse. And ironically, her name was already, before I met her mom, her name was Spirit. And so it was meant to be. I don't believe in coincidence.
No, definitely.
I believe
Everything happens for a
everything
reason,
happens for a
and
reason.
it just goes
Exactly.
like this. It just
And
fits.
even like the things that aren't so good, like divorce and such.
Yes.
It happens for a reason. But I just most recently, she's trying to get into the police force in Newfoundland. And I've always seen this little video reel. She's single, but I always seen this little video reel of her meeting her husband. They're in a training center. They meet, they fall in love, they marry. She has 2 children, a boy and a girl. This hasn't happened yet, but I still have faith that it's going to happen.
Yes, because you still see it, right? Yes.
And that's just a little example of these little video reels that I have had in the past, and they have come true. I was a little bit, I wasn't sure. I was a little bit reluctant, and kind of like, how can you see things that haven't happened yet?
Even happened.
And but now I really do believe it, because it's happened, and through connection, through spirit, with my own self, and with, obviously, we are all out of light. We can all connect if we're open to it, and we do, and when I say pray, I mean even just being thankful, being grateful.
It's
huge.
really important, right?
It is.
I yesterday I was telling my partner that not yesterday, Wednesday, that I feel that since I was a little girl, everything that I've dreamed of, it has become a reality.
Yeah, that's cool.
I've seen it, and you know what? I have, just like you're saying, I have seen it.
It's awesome.
I've seen it, right? And I always thought that it was just me daydreaming.
Yes.
That it was just me, maybe someday. And now that I look back, it's like, oh, wow, I have done everything I wanted. So
that's cool. I love that.
So, and not just everything I wanted, but just as well, like you're seeing, everything I've seen as well in visions, it has come in reality. And one of those things was that I knew I was going to get a divorce.
Wow.
And I didn't want to believe in that.
Yeah.
I didn't want to.
Yeah.
It was really hard for me to actually understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we certainly have that in common. And I know I believed in marriage. I didn't want that for myself, didn't want that for my children. And I remember going to the ocean. The ocean speaks to me. And when I meditate, quite often I'm at the ocean. I mean, I just let spirit bring me to where spirit wants me to be. But most of the time it's by the ocean. And I just remember praying, and, I was so unhappy, say 30 years old, you're supposed to be, really happy. And it was the most kind of downtime, one of the most downtime in my life. And I would just go to the ocean and I'd pray. I'd pray for strength, or I'd pray for the right answers, or what should I do? I want to be happy.
And it's
Can you help
beautiful.
me, kind of thing, right?
Yes, yes.
And
I've
yeah,
done that as well. I've been there,
awesome.
especially when we got here to Canada, we got to Truro, and then I moved here with my kids to Halifax, right?
Nice.
And so there was a lot of really dark moments,
Mm-hmm.
and the only place that I was able to feel good was the sea.
Yeah, it's
It's a
calming.
connection. It's a deep connection there.
There's a lot of magic in the sea.
Yes, yes.
And it's just a combination, I think, of the salt water. Salt
Mm-hmm.
is very grounding, and just the elements. You really kind of get all the elements when you're by the sea. But I love the woods too. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and I believe there's and I would say that I've probably said that to every client I've ever seen is, you need to go out and have balance. And even if they're not really able to, they don't have the mobility, maybe there's magic in just breathing in the fresh air.
Yeah.
If they can't walk very far, I always tell people, try to get out there and move. You don't have to put a time on it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to say, oh, I have to exercise for 25 minutes or 30 minutes.
No.
You don't have to do that.
You have
But
to be
it's
present.
absolutely, it's part of the medicine, and just to be out in the elements is a balancing. It balances you. I go out every day. I call it my prayer walk. And then it's there. I don't feel whole.
Yeah.
I don't feel balanced
Until
unless
you
I'm
go,
doing that.
because it's grounding, right? It's really
very
grounding. When
It is.
I've learned that as well to do. With my walks, he's my companion.
He's a great companion.
Yes,
I've got two doggies here, so I'm in my glory.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're really. It's really grounded, right? Whenever I'm walking as well,
Yeah.
I learn how to sit down and listen to the birds.
Yes.
To recognize the different birds.
Yes.
To say, to say, wow, this is amazing. This is beautiful. Look at the water, how it goes. Listen to the water.
Yeah.
And I go to a special place where I go and I put my hand and I say, beautiful water, beautiful air, beautiful earth, beautiful fire.
I love that.
Beautiful Mother Earth.
I love that.
Source, thank you. And I say thank you for that moment, because I'm able to see and I'm able to be surrounded with the water, the nature. It's so beautiful. It's a connection so beautiful. You connect there and you feel, and I guess that this happens to you, that whenever you go there, it's like, if you have something that is going on, it helps you relax.
It does, yeah. And I think it's important. We're so busy with technology and phones, and I always say to people, it's important to go out unplugged, and go by yourself and clear your mind. And if I do have a client coming, I'll make sure that I give those 4 days or so to go out and clear my mind and ask for messages for, my person, because it's not for me anyway, for spirit just guided me through the process. But I don't want to miss anything either for my people. So I don't want to just like rush it and sit down and just kind of, I'll give whatever I can in that hour. I want to make sure I don't miss anything, through meditation, through walk, or if I'm lying down, maybe in the middle of the night and I'm meditating, maybe there's lots of magic that happens there too. So I put the little bits together, and it forms a story, for my person. And it might not, these messages might not, I used to try to make the story up, right? I would get little messages and I would say, oh, well then this and this and this. But no, I learned that these messages were for my person, And quite often they had a different story to tell me about,
Wow. Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
it's important to let spirit come to you,
Hmm.
not from you. And
Yes.
Sean teaches us that, and it's kind of a golden rule kind of thing.
So what would be the difference? Tell me.
Well, the difference is you have to have a clear mind,
Mm.
and we also, as spirit people,
Mm-hmm.
we're visionary, like we see visions, and
Mm-hmm.
so we're storytellers, and
Mm-hmm.
we're daydreamers, and
Mm.
we're thinkers, and so we have to make sure that that story doesn't come from us,
Yeah.
that we're not making it the story up, that these pieces of spirit are truly coming to us,
Mm.
if that makes sense, that they're
It,
just popping in,
it makes
just
sense.
pop
So,
in.
well, for example, the other, I know that we're getting a little bit off topic.
That's
Topic here.
okay.
We always do this.
Again, though, it's meant to be the way it's meant to
Yes,
be.
exactly. But for example, we were doing. I told him, you know what? Because I have oracle cards as well and some
I
tarot
love
cards as
cards,
well.
yeah.
Yes, and so we were doing that the other day, and my partner and I say, I see certain things, right? Like I see, for example, I see buildings sometimes that they say, hey, I think there's Toronto. I see Toronto. I don't know what's going on with that, but I see Toronto, right? And I
Cool.
know that it feels that you're there or you want to go there, or there's something calling you. I don't know. I'm not sure about this,
Yeah.
right? Or I said to him, I see a big living room with big windows. I'm not sure as well if that's yours or if you're going to be present, but it feels like it's yours,
Right. There you go.
right?
When you say this is important too, clairsentience, it's a clair that we all have all the clairs, but it's a huge clair, and people kind of overlook it. It
It
feels,
feels, right?
and it's a big clair, and it's all part of it. I mean, all the clairs go together, but yeah, it's a strong one, and so that's kind of where I'm going on the fact that let those feelings come in, like, and
Mhm.
you know feel the feels.
Yeah, yeah, and it's amazing. I mean, I sometimes it's just I started seeing more things, and I'm not gonna lie. At first, it was like, what am I like? Because it's scary at
Yes.
one point, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, I've always been I've always telling that I'm always been a rebel because I've never fit in any system, not since I was a girl. Like I no, and I'm always questioning things, and I'm always like, no, this is no, mm-mm.
It's good to have a mind of your own, though. It's good to
Exactly,
question and
and
not go the path everyone else is going. I think
exactly.
everybody needs to have
Yes.
their own
Yes. I've been
mind.
always like that, and people as well question, and it's like, why not? But this is how it has to be. Well, for you, but for me, it's not, right?
Yeah.
So, but what I'm saying about fear is not about fear of what people say. It's at some point of my life, but it's more that uncertainty. What it's like, what's going on? Then what if I just let it like just keep going, then what's going to happen, right? It's like for me it's still like, okay, just spirit, I know that you're here, I feel you. Like now that I was telling you that we were smudging, there was someone behind me, and
Cool.
I felt that they were blowing.
Oh.
I'm like, oh, okay, you're here. I know, but I feel that you need to leave. Right now, I'm not prepared for this, so please.
Cute, cute. It's funny, and I know everybody can connect. That's true, but it's interesting to hear people's stories about how spirit comes in. Like, I see images in faces in patterns, like maybe a vase that has pattern, and if I just kind of give it some time and stare, I'll see the spirits always have their eyes closed,
Hmm.
but very, very clear, like lips, cheeks, hairline, different, whether they're male, female, such.
Hmm.
That will be very strong for me.
Yeah.
And I found the first year with Sean's course, I started seeing images. So and it means like it's spirit, like
Mm-hmm.
it's totally spirit. I have a vase in my bathroom. I call it my magic vase, and I will see images in that. But it's just, or say lights are big for me, like, or flickering of lights, or
But they flicker, and they is that a way that you are seeing a sign?
yeah, like it's interesting. If the thing is about spirit, we have to. When I say we, because we can all connect, be observant of when these things happen. Like I'll hear like loud cracks in the wall, for example. That was very like that happened the first year as well, because spirit can't. Well, I've never seen a spirit present their self, and I know Sean has,
Okay.
sometimes, but and other people maybe have seen like a fuzzy image of a person. That's never happened with me.
Mm.
But I think it's because they know I'd be frightened. But they want to communicate. So they will communicate through, I've had communications through maybe song. All my guides came out through song.
Right.
They can communicate through electronics. They
Mm.
can, through lights, and like you say, like you feel the blow. Sometimes with my ears will ring. Maybe left ear, maybe right ear. So just be, for the people out there that are resonating with what I'm saying, be very aware and observant of when these things happen. What are you thinking of?
Mm-hmm.
That's a big thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
9 times out of 10, or closer to that mark, it'll be at a certain time that spirit's trying to come in.
Yes, yes, yeah, and I think as well that's kind of like what I said to to the spirits whenever I feel them. It's like I'll get there. Right now, I'm still a little bit frightened. I know that
That's
you
right.
want to connect with me,
Yeah.
but this is still a shock for me. So
Yes.
be patient with me, please.
Yeah. And it's really cool the way spirit knows each one of us as
Yeah.
each individuals. They're not going to give you things that their intent is not to frighten us, right?
Mhm.
So they're gentle with us
Yeah.
too. And if they're not, then ask for them to be
Yeah.
gentle, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
I
yeah.
Can you hear?
Yes.
That's that's my grandma again.
Oh. Oh.
Always, there's always a cardinal. Whenever we are doing
Oh.
this is like the
I
third
love
time that
that.
yes, yes.
I love
I
that.
I can now because since when my grandma passed away, it was 2 days after that. I've never seen a cardinal. In
Oh.
Mexico, it's not that common, right?
Oh.
And as you know, 2 days after that, she was there. I'm like, oh. So ever since
That's cool.
it comes, and it's so beautiful because it kind of like finds me, and sometimes comes here, and until I see it.
I love that. Those
But
signs are beautiful.
they're beautiful. They're beautiful.
Yeah.
So now I know that she's saying, "Hey, I'm here."
Oh, well, I'm
So
sorry for your loss, and I'm glad that she can show up like that, right?
yeah, she was.
And see, I'm wearing red today, so.
I know. Plus, I love it. It's beautiful. You look beautiful.
Oh, you're so sweet, Ruth. That's so kind.
um. Yeah. No, my grandma had Alzheimer's, so
Oh,
she
I'm
was
sorry.
gone.
That's a hard journey.
Yes, she was gone for maybe 10 to 12 years. Mentally. But
Oh,
yeah, like 2 years ago, she passed.
God love her. Well, she has clarity now, because
Mm.
I do believe too as well that when our loved ones pass, they're healthy, like they present themselves in a healthy way. So her
Yeah.
mind is completely clear now,
Yes, exactly.
and she knows exactly when she wants to come to you. So I think that's beautiful that she's always there.
She is always there. Both of my grandparents are always with me. They're there,
I
right
knew
there.
I knew that
Yes,
they were
they're
there.
there. Yes, they're
They're
always present
beautiful.
with me.
Well,
Uh,
and that's the beauty. That's I wish that everybody could have that same belief and look for the signs, because not everybody does. The signs pass them by
Yeah.
and they don't see them until they're in the spirit world. But it's lovely to have that knowledge when you're present here in the world.
Yeah.
And of course, our loved ones want to be with us. I mean, they wanted to be with us when we were here on earth. Where else would they be when they go to the spirit world? They want to be with their family.
Yes, with their families.
Yeah.
And I feel especially they are, I feel that they're still watching over all of us, especially
Yeah.
because there was a lot of things in our family that we were a family, really dysfunctional family, really dysfunctional family. We just didn't realize that pain was actually what was we just didn't know how to process that.
Right.
So for us was pain equal to yelling and aggressiveness, right?
Right.
And well, now we're able to see it, and we've had since I was raised by my grandparents, I was kind of like part of my uncles and aunts, and I've always had the role within my family of being the kid of all of them, at the same time the niece, and with one of them a sister.
Right.
So I feel that my grandparents are still kind of like trying to guide us maybe to actually bring us back to because that's what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
That's what they always wanted us to have, even with their own biases, their own ways of learn, because that's exactly what I'm doing right now. I feel that me and my cousins around my same age were breaking patterns within the family.
Right.
And so we're so close.
That's awesome.
That we're here to break that. And we have done so much healing. That's awesome. It's so beautiful. So I feel that they're still around here.
For sure.
They need us to see how because we are thriving right now.
Well, thank God that you had them, and they absolutely do see. They don't miss a trick. They didn't in here when you had them, and they don't miss a trick now. Like,
yeah,
I really feel that.
Yes, no, they're beautiful. They're like I say, in their own ways, and they were human, and they had their own
we're all
mental problems, right? But they were beautiful souls. And they're still they're beautiful.
Yes, I know. I could tell that. And I think that love, in all those weeds, love is the glue. Like love is it. It is the power.
Yes, it's the power. It's the power. I know, and something I'm really grateful with them is that they show me a lot of love.
Yeah.
They show me a lot of love, and I'm guessing as well, with the story that I have, I was as well part of their journey. I think it was just necessary for me to be born, because I gave them as well. Even my uncles and aunts, they're like, you needed to be here because you brought them alive.
Oh.
So so that's how I am like, okay, well, this love needs to be spread.
Yeah. Yes. Grandparents are amazing. They're a real gift, and that's for sure.
It's beautiful.
I'm glad that you had them.
So you were telling me about your one experience that you had in Mexico. Please tell us about that, because that was beautiful, and
thank you, Ruth.
Yes, and I've been thinking about that. I've been thinking about that a lot, and it's like, wow. And the way that you were saying, well, I don't want to spoil it. Please talk about it. Sorry.
It's no coincidence that you're from Mexico.
I know.
And my most, I think the most powerful experience I've ever had with spirit I wish they could all be that powerful. I mean, I've had some other moments, but this brought me to tears. It brought me to tears, not just a little bit, but a lot.
Mm.
And the story is about the beauty and the connection between human hearts. This went to Mexico. First of all, I love Mexico and I love the Mexican people. And I think a lot of the reason is they're just so down to earth, and I love down to earth people. And down to earth people are born out of having, they had their knocks.
Yeah.
They all have their story. Everybody does have their stories, but when you're from a place that, do you know what I mean? There's the infrastructure's maybe not there, or maybe the finances, or this kind of thing, and it's tough. And so anyway, I love the Mexican people, and I love Mexico, but I love massages too, and and it's part of my
Where
kind
were
of
you
personal.
in Mexico?
I was in this particular place, I believe, was in Cancun.
That's what I felt, that it was in
Yeah,
Cancun.
yeah.
Yes.
Well, they have lovely beaches,
Yes.
and so I go for massages, regularly. I love it. It's part of my self care, and although we didn't talk about it yet, but I do believe self care for everyone is
Yes.
very important. But
Yes.
anyway,
We'll get there.
these ladies were on having massages. They had beautiful massage place on the beach, and it was like you were raised up, and it was a beautiful place. But one of the ladies that was massaging me, she couldn't speak English, but that's okay. I like to get in my quiet zone anyway, because I believe that in a quiet zone is when I know you need to be here. Hey, yeah, she's so cute. This is Baloo.
This is Balu, everybody, just so you guys know him.
Yes,
Just,
you're so
you'll
beautiful.
probably see him around
Yeah.
sometimes. I'm sorry. He wants to
He's
be
great.
right with me, but
He's a healer. He wants to hear the story too, don't you, Baloo? And so I was getting my massage, and I kind of let spirit through in a process of, I have my prayer, and then I just let my mind be on go wherever spirit wants it to go. It's important to not rush spirit or force spirit, or just let it come, like trust and let that come. So I get into like a deep zone, and I know this is probably going to sound a little deep for some folks, but I work with animals, and I love, the whale has come to me, and messages through the whale have come to me before, and they're such a wise animal, and I just kind of, it's almost like I'm looking at like through their eyes, even just to see like the wrinkles, and anyway, they're beautiful.
so, but
animals.
so sorry, I interrupted.
No, that's
I
okay,
want to
Ruth.
know, while you were getting the massage, is that where you started feeling that connection with the whale? Was that something that it presented
That's
you
how
while
it
you
started.
were? Okay.
Yeah, it sometimes will start through an animal, sometimes not, sometimes it will. I let spirit do, like, it's important not to create myself, if that makes sense, but let spirit set the stage, let spirit come in the way that it wants to come, and let it flow, and just let it be. At that particular moment, I probably thought, I'm just going on a journey with a whale, and I'm just going to enjoy the ocean. I'm hearing the waves come through.
The breeze.
I'm breathing. The massage feels wonderful. And I just let my mind go. But the whale had a different story to tell that day. The whale, it wasn't about sitting still. The whale took me through the grandfather's eyes of the woman that was massaging me. And the grandfather took me to a little modest tiny home. In the kitchen there was a dog, and there was an older mom. Like, I knew that this was his wife. I knew that this was her son through the meditation, and I knew that this was their little family dog in the kitchen. And the little kind of video reel they showed me as just love. They were. It was a family scene. My massage person wasn't there, but the message was for her. I through the massage, you just kind of get a knowing that I knew this was her grandfather.
And you were connecting
I
with
was
her
he
as
was
well.
showing me the so her grandfather was guiding me to their kitchen,
Mm.
very specific. And then so when I was just let it be. It's just like kind of like a dream.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in a very relaxed, meditative, deep
Mm-hmm.
state. And I try not to fall asleep. And so anyway, the massage treatment was wonderful and over. And then I'm like, okay, this is different for me. My person can't speak English,
Mm.
and I need to get this. I was so excited to get this message through to her.
Mm-hmm.
It was important, and I was not leaving there without giving her that message of love.
Mm.
So I said to her partner, and I said, can you ask your,
Translate.
can you translating? And first of all, very important, if she's open to receive that message. I think it's important not to just kind of give people messages if they don't want to hear messages.
Mm-hmm.
So that's important to ask permission.
Mm-hmm.
I asked her if she could then translate. She said yes. I told her the story, and then I listened in Spanish while she
Mm-hmm.
said to her friend, and her friend just looked at me and she just broke down.
Oh.
And it was very strong, it was, and we just went over and we hugged each other.
Mm.
We didn't speak the language, but we didn't need to.
But exactly, there's no
Our
need.
hearts were together, and she was so happy. Everything was right, what the message was, and that's where you really know. There's no way that I could have made that up.
Yes.
Her grandfather had passed. She lives with her grandmother, and that was her boy, her young boy, and that was her dog. And so her grandfather wanted to just say, hey, I love you. I'm proud of you. And I see you. I'm with you all the time. And don't ever lose that. And it was just, I can't tell the story today without, getting emotional because, if
very okay.
if there was ever, any reason for me to connect, if that was it, right?
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
too,
And I feel that it's really deep, and I feel that as well. Maybe you now still feel the love and that as well the grieving, right? Because
oh yes,
there's
for
still a lot of
sure.
grieving.
But also the healing too,
The
like in the
healing.
love. Like I don't think that's something that she will ever forget, and I know it's something that I'll never forget. And it's a lovely. It doesn't happen all the time like
Yeah.
that, but I wish that it could because it's amazing. But I love the fact that that's why I do what I do to show people
Yeah.
that the love is still with you, that upon their death, that love never dies.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
their spirit, although they're not there in the physical form,
Yes.
they're always with you.
Yes.
Just like your grandparents, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
They never
yes,
leave you,
they
and
never.
you feel them. I know that you do.
Yes. Yes. Every time.
And even like, and I say that to people too. You just have to think about your loved one, and they're there.
Mm-hmm.
They know that you're thinking of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's just there's no measurement of how quick they can be there, but it's instant.
So you were mentioning about the self-care. What do you do to do self-care?
Yeah, so
Besides the walks, right? Because
yeah.
we were already talking about the walk.
Yeah, well, when I first discovered Sean and through the course and things, my son was, he was getting into a lot of trouble. And through addictions and mental health, his journey ended up in prison, more than once. Thank God he's on a different path now, and he's still has his mental health issues, but he has his sobriety.
I think everybody has. We have mental issues.
Absolutely. I mean, everybody does. So this kind of, because, it was a very painful journey with my son, I was looking for peace. I was searching. I was going through a divorce. I was a single parent.
Yeah.
Had two young children, so I was just floundering, and of course had anxiety as well, and didn't really know how to manage that. I mean, I did go to the gym and I did do everything I could do to get myself out of there, but Colin's journey ended up being harder.
Mm.
And as a person, sometimes you can only take so much, right?
Mhm.
So,
And as a mom.
and as a mom and as a single mom too, and I
Mhm.
was working full time. But Sean's course really did teach me some self care. You
Mm.
know, just I didn't realize that it was going to bring me so much peace. But when the course teaches us about giving us our own time in through meditation, um, I used to take sleeping aids, because I was just kind of riddled with anxiety and
Mhm.
worry,
Mhm.
worrying about, as we most of us, we worry about things that we can't control anyway.
Mhm.
So why are we bringing on all this worry? But the thing is, it's simple to say but not so simple to do.
Mhm.
So just through my own journey of through meditation, going out for more walks, being present in nature, letting my mind be more free,
Be
I got
mindful.
off my sleeping meds, right?
Mm.
I gradually, I'm not saying right away, but like gradually, you just, because healing isn't a quick process. Healing is sometimes a lifelong journey for some, but you just have to kind of do the best you can every day,
Mm.
and kind of do the best you can for yourself.
Mhm.
And if you can't be the best version of yourself, then you're not going to be the best version for others,
Yes,
as
exactly.
a
If you're
mother.
not connected with yourself,
Right.
then how are you gonna be able to connect with
Yeah.
with the ones
Like as a
that you love?
exactly, like not just as a mother, but as a wife, as a daughter, just
Yeah,
to show up and be the best version of yourself. You really have to
yeah,
look after yourself.
yeah. Because if you are in a place where you're happy, when you're with you're happy with yourself, what you're doing, what you have fulfilled with your life, and I'm not talking about uh in terms of career, like this is really eternal, right?
Yeah.
But it's more about how you feel with yourself. What are the things that you have actually learned that you feel good at doing, and how you ground yourself. And uh when you are in that position, then you are able to actually understand the other side of the person, because
Yeah.
you sympathize, you are empathic, your compassion and your love
Yeah.
are able to actually be there for them in a better way, right?
That's right. And like as we want to heal others, if we haven't been through those hardships,
Yeah.
as divorced people, or as people that are have family members with addictions and mental health, I have
Mhm.
a huge empathy for that, for
Yeah.
those people, because but if I hadn't been through that hard journey, then I wouldn't have the wisdom to sit with someone else and talk about my hard journey and listen to their hard journey, and give maybe some advice or guidance in that area. You
Mhm.
can't give guidance if you haven't been through hardship.
Yes.
It's really just as
Yes.
simple as that.
Yes. Yes. Because if you don't understand, if you don't feel uh, certain situations, like I'm always saying, the dark is just, it can be so beautiful as well, because
Yeah.
it'll take you to the light, right? And if
Yeah.
you see the
That's
dark
right.
as a place where you are, seeing things around and say, oh, okay, well, this is what's happening, and
Mhm.
start discerning what you're feeling and start understanding where it comes from.
That's right. Because, like, for example, like, I have a huge empathy for parents. I can't imagine a worse nightmare than losing a child
Mm.
through whatever, you know,
Whatever reason.
reason. It's a pain that I can't even imagine. But I can empathize, and I can say that I almost lost my son on a couple occasions, and I lived through that darkness of my son being on life support. And so although I didn't lose him, thank God, and I'm thankful for that every day, but if I'm speaking with a parent that lost their child, it's a pain that's so great you just can't even imagine, right?
You can't even imagine.
But I can have empathy.
Yes.
Because for the grace of God, has spared me to have my son still. So.
What is it that I know that you're talking about having that connection with moms that they have lost their kids. How has that been for you? I know that you relate so much because you were in that moment. You didn't lose him, but at some point you thought you were going to.
Yeah.
And like you say, I feel that it's important for all of us to go through certain darkness, which is not a darkness. It has always the beauty on it. We just have to actually see it and embrace it.
That's right. Yeah, and a lot of times we don't know until after the darkness passes and things. But we have a lot in common, you and I, because I almost lost my son when he was born, and he was a preemie. He was 34 weeks, and his heart kept, giving out. He didn't need the surgeries, but I prayed hard, and so he had a hard time right from the beginning too, and he still keeps me on my toes, but I love him, and I've always been there as much as I could be as a mom. The hard part about addictions and mental health is that all we can do is love them and be there for them.
Yes.
But with addictions, there's a fine line you don't want to enable. So nobody gives you the handbook on that. But I just think we're all human, and really we just try to do the best that we can do.
Right. Yes, and now I understand so much with mental health, right? Like I had a lot of judgment, especially with my ex-husband's family, where they were always saying, well, you're just as crazy as your family. You are, being just dysfunctional as your family. But the reality is that there's always dysfunction in every way, because maybe they were not as loud and as emotional as we are, because there's a lot of love as well there. But they were repressing. They're still repressing. So that's another way of mental health, another way of not being themselves, another way of not telling their truth. And I'm saying this because people need to as well see that part, right? Because being avoidant, being not wanting to go through that pain, it leads you to more problems, and it leads you to more misunderstanding and not living your life at fullest, right?
Yes, and it's very abusive, for them, for a person to say to another person, you're just like your crazy family, It's a very negative, abusive thing to say, I have a brother that has schizophrenia, and for that. For someone,
my uncle
for
has
someone
schizophrenia, so
we have a lot in common, you see. But so for someone to kind of put you on, you know what I mean? It's a very negative, abusive way to treat people. And I feel strongly that we need to be kind to people.
And as well, I feel as well that people need to start seeing within, because they are projecting, right? I understand down in the road not long ago that my in-law, like I guess I hope that he understands this. Uh, but I feel as well that he was projecting because I knew that he was in that same boat when he was a kid,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he wanted to avoid that his family had that. So I understand that he comes from a place of hurt, a place of not knowing what's good for him still,
Yeah.
right? And so I feel compassion for him, and I feel that, and I really hope that he will at some point learn his lessons. I have the feeling that it's going to be one of those souls that is not going to take any lessons right now or any awareness.
Yeah.
That it's not going to, uh, yes, just open and yeah. I really hope that my ex can do that because he's a good person. He's a beautiful soul as well. It's just like um, those patterns as well, and it's again multicultural as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just where in Mexico it's another way of thinking of, yes, I have my family, but I have as well someone on the side,
Right.
or I can't leave it because this is my wife for so long, and I'm going to destroy the family, and but you're still doing it,
Mm-hmm.
even though that's under the table. You're still hurting. There's still that energy that it's
Yeah.
around. It's avoidance. So it's so many things, right? And
Yeah.
as well, again, there is no self-care there. There's no self-love there.
That's right.
And it needs to be something that we need to talk. It's
Yeah.
important that we all, I'm not saying just about within my family, but we all need to be able to open up and
That's
say
right.
those uncomfortable truths, because
Yeah.
from there it'll come a lot of relief, and
Yeah.
it'll come a lot of these biases and cultural belief systems that we have. They have taken us as well to take bad decisions because of the fear of what people and society is going to think.
Mm-hmm.
How if Because unfortunately, it could be people, they can even lost everything
Yeah.
if they're saying their truth, because it's not good for the company that they see that you're having this or that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really? Just it's just, I mean, we're really off topic, but
It's okay.
but
We need to be. Spirit's taking us wherever they want to take
yes,
us.
yes,
But
yes, because and it's just I'm always feeling that there's like awareness that we have to talk. So I just try
yeah.
to be in that moment to talk about it, right? Because I want, and this is all about uh, spreading that a little bit of information, so people kind of maybe starting realizing and have that awareness and awakening in themselves.
For
So
sure.
if this conversation helps, I'd love
Absolutely.
that. Yeah.
And you're touching on a lot of subjects, like,
Yeah.
and you talked about patterns before, right? And so when you talk about your ex and your in-laws and things, and it's nice when those patterns
Mm.
are broken,
Yes. Yes.
and like you talk about self-love, it's just so important.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't always get it perfect. But I think that, if I love, my mom always taught me, like, treat people the way that you want to be treated.
Yes.
She's so wise. She's been through so much. She was an orphan, and she had a lot of racism through her
Mm-hmm.
life, and she's never had parents. She had to form her own path. Thank God she's had brothers and sisters, but, like,
Mm-hmm.
she's taught me a lot.
Yes.
I wouldn't have the feelings, I wouldn't be me without them, the way that they raised me.
Yes.
So I think it's just, I'm not saying that we get it right all the time, but
Yeah.
I think that if we love ourselves. My parents always loved me fiercely,
Mhm.
and they always taught me to be, a strong, independent, person. But just even in just the way that you treat others,
Yeah.
my mom was treated so poorly, she and she never had even anybody give her any Christmas gifts or birthday gifts. So growing up, those occasions were very important. She spoiled me on my birthday, right? Because she never had it. But I'm just saying, like, I just think through all the weeds and the knocks that we have in life, I think it's just important
I
to,
want to share something
yeah,
because I think you're touching something really important here. Your mom had this, and I want to go there. I want to touch base on what happened to your mom in a second. But you're saying that your mom had this difficult childhood where she was part of the marginalized kids, where they had to, they were taken from their
yeah.
houses, right?
Hmm.
Um, but yet, your mom decided to follow the path of love,
Yeah.
follow the path and find herself. I'm pretty sure, like everyone else, we are all human. Some of us, we have the capacity to do it in another ways, in a better
Yeah.
ways. Um, Maybe the soul contract that you have come and do here, right? And it's just different. And I want to say as well, because I've learned and I see now. I didn't want to believe this, and even though I was raised by my grandparents, and my mom was there in her own way, because she was as well going through her stuff. Now that I understand, and I give as well thank you for having my mom, and I love her so much, and I honor her as well, because she's still with me, and she's there for me, and she's supported me, and she's beautiful. um, but I've seen as well that there are a lot of kids out there, or even grown-ups out there, that are saying I didn't have any love from my parents. But really, needs the people needs to be able to understand what was the story of them.
Hmm.
They don't know how to be for themselves. They don't know how to love themselves. They were not raised with love, or that's what they thought, right? They were able to give whatever they were able to give, because they didn't know what was love or how to give themselves love. But that doesn't mean that they didn't love. Maybe in their way, and that was just part of their own journey that they had to go through. Either some of them they weren't, and they have to come back again, and you know. But all I'm saying is that focus on yourself. Don't don't be resentful with your parents,
Hmm.
because you really don't know what was really their own struggles as a human being,
Yeah.
as a soul.
Hmm.
You never know. So and then again, I feel that wisdom that you share about that pain that it comes from our experiences, right? It's so important. So um, now that I'm talking about the patterns, how do you relate with those mothers? How do you relate with those different experiences that you have been able to help these parents or mothers?
Hmm. Well, I know everybody has their own story, and I haven't. That I only have one friend that has had, like, in terms of the journey of, we call them like the lost children, where they've been, maybe went down through a path of alcoholism. There was a lot of that through the pain, but just, I guess, my own journey, as knowing my mom's journey. She's had so many stories to tell me. I always told mom she should write a book
Mm.
But she says to me, it would be too painful to open that up all the time. But
But it will
and
be a
just
relief as well, right?
yeah, it could be, it could be a healing journey for herself too. But I mean, I understand that we're, for her telling me that, that's why she doesn't,
Mm-hmm.
she could write an amazing book. She's a reader herself, and just the stories that she has and the wisdom that she has. But I guess that wasn't her journey to write that
Mm-hmm.
book. And I certainly don't want to see my mother go through, the pain again. But I guess just, you mean if I'm sitting with a client that's a mom, you
Mm-hmm.
mean how I relate?
Mm-hmm.
Just through my own journey as a mom, I have a huge empathy for moms that struggle, their children are struggling with mental health and addiction. So, because I've dealt with that, it seems like almost my whole life, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was a young mother when I had my son. So, um, 25. I
Mm-hmm.
guess that's sort of young,
Yeah.
but um, so he started to, have these symptoms when he was 13. So it was a very, young age, and so I mean, I can definitely relate to that with moms. Um, yeah, so I think it's important to be a good listener, too. So
Yeah.
I just listen, and I offer, advice or
Mm-hmm.
guidance in that area. But yeah.
I'm going to try to be really respectful because what I'm about to say, um, I feel that it's a topic that it needs to be touched with respect, with love, with compassion,
Mhm.
right? So I'm gonna literally going to read what I have here because
Oh
I
yeah.
want to be,
Okay.
because you talk about the health struggles, right?
Mm-hmm.
And do you think that maybe and they're tied to systemic issues, right? Especially for Indigenous
Mm-hmm.
and marginalized communities who've faced trauma from society and institutions. So,
Mm-hmm.
how do you see self care, spirituality, the truth telling in a form of resistance with, facing these systematic challenges? I don't know if I'm making myself clear because what I'm trying to say with this is that there has been a lot of injustice, right,
Right.
with people.
Yeah.
There has been a lot of, with these systems that they have, how they have used God or the religion to justify all of this.
Right. Yeah.
And I try to, I could be ranting, right? I could be saying, uh, taking this in a bad way, and but I don't want to spread negativity
Yeah.
in any way. So now that you are a spiritual person, right?
Mm-hmm.
With all these that your mom saw, all these injustices, all of this hypocrisy,
Yeah.
how do you fight in a spiritual way, right? How do you have that resistance and say, hey, this is not right?
Right. Well, I guess we can't change what has happened, all the injustices
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
native uh, people. I mean, right from the dawn of time, their land was taken away from them, right? And then everything was being stripped from them. I mean,
Yeah.
it's heartbreaking, really, when you take a look at this whole, evolution, and what man has done to men. It's not just natives. We can look at many cultures, and I'm sure
Mhm.
that you could speak on that as well.
Mhm.
And just see, the hardships and the culture that has been stripped from the people, their language.
Mm.
Um, I mean, what could be worse than taking children away from their biological parents because people felt that they were doing these, savages, that they wanted to, you know, infuse Christianity, but yet their Christianity was, what was that, right? It was a lot of times abuse. It's hard
Mm.
so I mean, no, no wonder my mom doesn't want to write the book, because I mean, she's has scars on her body from, um, you know, people's kids throwing rocks at her and calling her names. Um, she's had a lot of abuse, with nuns, and just, I'm sure that she hasn't told me because I'm her daughter, and she hasn't told me a lot of the abuse that she's endured. But you can take that, and you can make you can turn your life bitter. This is why my mom has no, like, when people say, "Oh, I'm doing this because look what has happened to me," right? She doesn't have a lot of time for that,
Mm.
because you're dealing with a child that had no was stripped of everything that she knew. I mean, it wasn't all. Her mom was, an alcoholic,
Mm.
so I mean, it wasn't like, you know what I mean, like. And I'm not saying that she went to a better place. I'm not saying that at all, because you know
So
children need to
her
be with their
mom was
parents
an
too.
alcoholic.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's when I see things happen for a reason always,
Yeah.
right? And maybe I
Hmm.
was just touching that, where you have to be compassionate with your parents, because for you maybe it wasn't the good parent that you deserve, but what they're going through as well, you never know what they're going through, right? And your
Yeah.
grandma, we didn't, like, I don't know if you know what happened with your grandma, right? But I don't know, maybe, she was as well, was she as well part of that?
She was lived on a reservation. She did. She was an alcoholic, and I do know that, interestingly enough, my mom has met like three women that are her half sisters, but she only met them over the last 5 years. So
Hmm.
I'm speaking now to aunts that I never
You never
knew,
knew.
which is like nice. Like, I'm. It seems like I'm always like, family is they're popping up, and that I didn't know that I had. But yeah, so she did go on. My grandma, my biological grandmother, she did go on to, get sober, and she did have other children, and she did have like another marriage. But through her own journey, she never wanted to acknowledge her other children, and that's fine. I forgive her for that, because you see, if you don't forgive,
Yes.
the saying, "Forgiveness will set you free."
Mm-hmm.
It's really important. I think that it really is important to forgive.
Yes.
Sometimes you can't, and I understand. I'm sure there's people out there that can't forgive,
Mm.
and that's part of their journey. But I I forgive as much as I can forgive,
And it's a process.
and it's a process.
It's a process.
And my grandmother has talked to me through spirit, and I do have a relationship with her,
Mm.
and that's enough for me. I don't,
Mm.
and I had to say to her in spirit, to be honest, like, for me to really feel my grandmother, I had to say to her, "I forgive you."
Oh.
And I really had to say it, but I had to mean it.
And it's really,
Her spirit
it's
didn't come through until I forgave her.
hmm. It's so powerful what you just said.
Yeah, my ears ringing right
She's
now.
she's
She's here
she
right now.
yes.
But and she knows, like, she knows, she loves, and she feels, and she knows, she has her own regrets.
Yeah.
But
See, this is
if
me. I don't
yeah,
know. Like, sorry,
I
I
know
didn't
that's
want to
okay. You
interrupt
don't
you,
have
but
to
this
swear.
is me. I have no idea. I don't know your story, right? And maybe I'm sorry if I cross boundaries.
You didn't.
Um, but if she was maybe one of the things that if that it concerned about her, knowing that her children was going to take away, because that's how it was.
Yeah.
At some point maybe they were waiting for that, and it was scary for them as well, knowing that they were going to lose their kids at some point because the
Mm.
church was going
Yeah.
to get them. So it was, you never know if it was a way for her as well to protect herself and to put that I just better push you away because I'm still gonna lose you,
Yeah, I
right?
mean, that's it. I think that people spend too much time, judging, and we're definitely on the right. We're like-minded people, and I think that you're not going to get peace if you
Mm-hmm.
don't look into the situation and look for love and look for forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in my mom's own way, she has forgiven in her own way. I suppose she's grateful that she's met some of her, half siblings.
Mm-hmm.
She met a sister from her father's side and a couple from her mom's side. So, I just think that people just have to find their own happiness and their own path in life. And if you spend your time on, negativity and
Mm-hmm.
just being,
In the end, it's for you. The forgiveness in the end is for you
yeah,
to be
absolutely.
free of
It
it.
it will set you free. Yeah,
That
if
person needs to take responsibility for their actions, right?
absolutely, like if you're filled with resentment and
Yeah.
anger, it's only going to be you're gonna burn from the inside. You know what I mean? Like you have to find your own. You have to really try to and find your own happiness and
Mm-hmm.
peace, because
Mm-hmm.
that's all of us want in life. Is we want our happiness, we want our peace, we want our family to be happy, we want all of this. We want
Mm-hmm.
everybody to stay healthy, and these are the things that I pray for too. For my family. So this is why uh, I really feel strongly about the color of people's skin,
Mm-hmm.
because we're all people.
Mm-hmm.
We all want the same things. We feel the same things.
Mm-hmm.
We all want the same things as
Mm-hmm.
humans, right? And even go stretch further with animals, right? And we
Mm-hmm.
just need to try to find a way to get past all of these barriers
Mm-hmm.
and really just insert some more love and compassion.
Yeah, I was talking about the sometimes how we have that biases, the woman, oh, all men are horrible, all men
Mm-hmm.
are, and I've known men that they're like, women are horrible, they treat us really bad. And what, I've been learning to see the other side, right, of both sides, right. And it's like, wow, just as the color of our skin, we're all the same.
Yeah,
We shouldn't be saying, oh, women are bad, men are bad,
that's right.
white people are bad, uh, um, Mexicans are bad and rapists, like Trump said, right?
Mm.
Black people are bad. No, like no, and I don't, I totally, for me, saying the color of the skin, for me, that's something I know that there's these biases of saying the color of the person that is black. It's maybe I'm gonna get in trouble with this, but it's really comes from love. For
Yeah.
me, it comes that it's a respectful. It's a fact. You're beautiful. You're black. You're brown. You're white. You're beautiful just as you are.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you come here to present yourself, and that has nothing to do with your choices.
Yeah.
Your choices makes you what what happened, right? Like the consequences, your choices, right? And there are white people that they have done bad choices, but there are some other white people that are beautiful souls, and there are some other ones as well, other races, and they're the same,
Yeah.
same. So for me, when I refer to the skin, the color of the skin, it's because it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's the color. It's just the color, and
You
it's
have beautiful
beautiful.
skin.
Oh, thank you. Right?
But
So,
yes, a person needs to be judged for their person, for their heart, for their soul.
and not even judge, just understanding where it comes from. Not never justifying their actions
Yeah,
because they need to take accountability
that's
for
right.
their own actions.
That's right.
And if they don't, there's nothing that we can do. And that's when it comes like, okay, I revisit what happened. What was I feeling? What was this person was making me feel? How I was feeling, right?
Hmm.
Because we can, I can see it with my perspective, but maybe that person chose to do something else because on his perspective or her perspective, it's just you're being aggressive, right? So we don't know, right? So we need to see and learn how to see eye
Hmm.
to eye to be able to communicate. If that other person doesn't want to take accountability, then it's on them. But you're going to be free.
Yeah,
You're
that's
going
right.
to revisit and understand.
Hmm.
When you revisit certain circumstance that it was hurtful, it's healing as well.
Hmm.
It takes you to a dark spot. Yes, it does. It takes you to cry because sometimes we are like, I don't want to see my daughter crying, but it's important for them to feel. It's
Yeah,
important to allow the loved ones to feel whatever they need to feel, pain,
yeah.
anger, happiness, whatever it is they need to feel.
Hmm.
Even shamed, right? Just because we need to understand as well our bodies,
Yeah,
how they work, how they feel. We're all wiring a different way. Even the ones I'm neurodivergent, and I know there's a lot of people with ADHD, but still we all have our own identities, and the way that we think, even having ADHD, is just different.
yeah. No, I
Um,
agree a
so
100%.
yeah, so
And I
I
like when you mentioned, sorry for interrupting, but
no,
I
yeah,
love
please.
when you mentioned that you let your daughter cry. And I think that that's a huge disservice that we do to our, when I say we, I think a lot of people, they teach, they don't want to see men or young boys cry, like, oh, man up, don't cry. But I think it is a form of healing. And I think for our daughters and
Yes,
sons, it's
yes.
important for them to get those emotions out, to feel that
Mm-hmm.
release,
Mm-hmm.
because we're, as humans, we need to, let our boys
Yes,
cry, let our men
yeah.
cry,
Yeah,
you
I'm
know.
gonna put a small example, but it comes from small things. And if we actually see that thing that we always say, "Oh, that's a stupid thing." No, it's not, because it's starting to build up
Yeah,
resentments, and
that's
then
right.
it comes to a big thing, right? So, if we actually pay attention to those small things and help them go through those small things, it'll help them uh, feel better. And even with us, it doesn't have to be just with our kids. That we can learn to do
That's
that
right.
as well for ourselves. But for example, my son sometimes he gets mad, and I'm like, you know what? It's okay. You want to feel mad? Feel mad. It's okay, honey. Take your time. When you're ready to talk, just let me know. And
Yeah.
he's like, Mom, I feel now. I feel better, right?
Hmm.
Just like, oh, okay. So I kiss him, I hug him, and sometimes it's necessary to talk about the problem. Sometimes it's just okay, just so simple. Let's do this in another way. How can we do it? Okay, this good, right? And I feel that's easy. That's easier, and not ramble ramble Rumble. Well, how do you say it? Rumble? Rumble off. Rumble.
Ramble on.
On?
You're
Yes.
fine. You're fine. No, but it is. It's important to teach them all that and
Yeah.
let them, because controlling our emotions, it's kind of a lifelong journey, isn't it? But
Yeah.
so
You
for
never
kids,
stop
it's
learning.
yeah. So it's important, I think, to teach our kids that
But if we
to navigate.
normalize that, if we
Yeah,
start normalizing
you're
that,
right.
especially with well, I mean, with all of us, right? But now I'm seeing a lot of the men's side where, it's they want to be vulnerable. They can be vulnerable because, uh, the society just they're expecting having that responsibility as a man,
Yeah,
that you have to provide, that you have to do this, and when are they going to have time for themselves, to love
that's right.
themselves, to connect with themselves? And that's why there's like I've met spiritual people, men, but they're not that many, or at
Yeah,
least I haven't,
you're right.
because they're not connected with that
Yeah,
feminine side.
yeah,
And that doesn't mean that they are attracted to the other sex, right? Which that has nothing to do as well.
that's right.
That for me as well, that's another topic that has nothing to do with love, right? Love is love.
Yeah,
um but yeah, so I it's just I feel that we need to normalize that they're able as well to feel, to cry,
yeah,
to feel there in the floor and say, let me recoup, let me be here on the ground, because I
that's
need to
right.
be here, I need to be able to feel that I am lost.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's valid, it's valid.
Yeah,
It's just that the system that we're living, it's not valid for that system, and that's a shame. It needs to
it
be
is.
normalized, this situation, more than ever.
I agree. Yeah, it's all so healthy. These
Yes.
are all men and women. They all go through the same emotions.
Mm-hmm.
So I ask why, are they being treated so different? And then we ask, well, no
Yeah.
wonder there's so much anxiety,
Mm-hmm.
or looking to substance for to have what I mean, to escape.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's healthy for us to all
Mm-hmm.
let our emotions be shown or feel, go through.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna pass too. Like if you're angry or
Mm-hmm.
all, our emotions are like a roller coaster, right? So
Yeah.
lots of times for me, if I'm just feeling a little bit anxious, I'll just go outside and it
Yes.
disappears pretty quick.
Yes, I know. So, would you be able or open to talk more about your mom and the struggles that she went
Yeah,
through? Yeah.
yeah,
Is there something that you would like to share in terms of what she lived, the injustice that you saw, or that your mom has? Well, the injustice that your mom maybe shared with you, or the things that she has shared with you in her experience of what happened to her,
mhm.
and the way as well how you see it now, now in this moment, and through this your spirituality as well, like,
Yeah,
because I know that it comes forgiveness as well there, so with all of
yeah,
this systematic.
yeah. Um, I know that I know my mom has a lot of stories, and just out of respect for my mom, I think that I've shared some, and I think that that's kind of what I'll do. But I will say that I
Mm-hmm.
just have such a huge respect for my mom. She's just one of the most, having gone through this, horrible childhood. And when if anybody could meet my mom, she's just the most heartfelt, beautiful soul. She's the most giving person and that
Mm-hmm.
I've ever met, and loving. There's not any kind of occasion that goes by that she doesn't want to give to her people or
Mm-hmm.
love her great grandchildren fiercely. I've got
Mm-hmm.
twins that they're just like my pride.
Yeah, babies.
But She just, for going through all these struggles. So I guess my main message is for people to just, if someone can go through that kind of a hardship and that kind of an awful, you know, um, childhood, but yet rise above through all of it, get her education, love fiercely. My parents have been married for 56 odd years. Like they're just sweet people. They're loving people. They met when mom started, when she got out of the orphanage and she was into the public system. She was 16, and my dad, he is white, but he's Scottish, but just loved her just at the minute that he met her. He says, I saw your mother walk through the classroom, and I just knew I had to have her, right? And he's a beautiful man. So I guess my main message around my mom's experience is that she didn't let all of that past be excuses for being a negative, miserable, unhappy person. In fact, her life has been the opposite of that. And I just love her so much, and I respect her.
Yeah, and it's beautiful that she took that after everything that she went through. It takes a lot of love and light to go through a situation and give the love that she has, the way that she has done to you. So I feel that. I feel you. I feel that love and that, she wanted to spread the love to you, all the things that she didn't have, right? So that's beautiful. That speaks more louder than any of other injustice that she had.
Yeah, exactly. And so, it's such a huge message to say that love conquers all.
Love conquers all.
It truly does. Like, these sayings are from, very wise people that have been through all of this, right? She never ever complains or uses or passes an excuse in any way. And, I just really, she's been my model, right?
Yeah.
She's been my hero. So
she is a strong woman. Like, I don't even know her. With everything that you're sharing, she is a strong, badass.
You're right.
Warrior.
Yeah, she's a warrior.
She's a warrior, and
yeah.
I feel here. Wow.
I'm very lucky to have her as my mom.
Yes. And I'm pretty sure that she feels the same with you, seeing how beautiful you have become as a daughter, and I'm pretty sure that your son sees you just as much as she sees you. You see her. So be proud of that, because whatever your son has chose as well, it's been for his own journey, and we have no control on that.
And we don't. All we can do is love them where they're at, and we always have. And my children adore my mom and my parents, and we can just be grateful in the love that surrounds us all. And,
yes,
and just be the best version of ourselves as the days follow.
And I know that with what I'm saying, people could question, is like, how can she say this? But in every experience, and because I've gone through a lot as well, like a lot of injustices as well myself, and maybe not full segregation like that, but I've had my own battles as well. And I lost the track. My ADHD.
That's okay.
So, oh, but what I was going to say is that we need to see that those experiences, as hard as they are, as hard and injustice, and that no human should go through that. No human should go through that. But you never know what we decided when we come here, and that's what
right.
those are the lessons that we needed to get, right? So we
That's
have to
right.
embrace as well those lessons and see them as the, just like you were saying, if she wouldn't have gone through that, she wouldn't be the person that she's right now.
Exactly. They all these experiences, they shape us into
Yes.
who we are.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. So this is so beautiful. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad that we were able to
Thank
talk.
you, Ruth, for having me.
No, thank you for coming and to have, to have come to this space. I hope that it was safe to talk
Absolutely.
with everything, because we
Absolutely.
talk, topics that they were really sensitive. So I just want to make sure that
You did amazing.
because this is what I want. So I want to be able to talk in a safe way without judgment, to actually understand each other, and to find an answer. Maybe someone can find an answer with what we're sharing right now.
That's right.
So I really hope that you guys can find something within this conversation, find maybe your path. If you were part of this systematic discrimination that was, as well, I wish you with all my heart that you are able to get what it was meant for you to get, and learn and spread love, because with all that hatred that it was, we can change that into a better way of seeing things. So thank you so much.
Amen.
Kelly.
My pleasure, Ruth. Thank
do you want to leave? Do you still do readings?
I still do. Yeah, I don't put myself out there a lot, but I never say no to spirit. So
Okay.
anybody that feels that they want to share some space and with spirit with me, I'm always available.
Okay.
And I have a healing with spirit page on Facebook.
Okay.
And
I will put that on the comments so you can find Kelly if you feel the call to have a reading with her.
Yeah.
To have some messages from her.
Yeah.
So I will leave that for you guys. And thank you so much.
Yes.
Remember, I see you guys in the next episode. And dare to be you, dare to be. Oh my gosh. I don't even know my. But yes, see, I'm daring to be myself. So dare to be you, dare to be us. Okay. See you guys. Bye.